recipe. Gwen's gonna read us the ingredients.
For the batter, 1½ cups all-purpose flour sifted, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1 1/3 cups water, and 1 egg. And for the sandwich, 1 ounce turkey, 1 ounce Swiss cheese, 1 ounce ham, and 2 slices of bread.
There are a lot of different recipes for the Monte Cristo sandwich out there. So some of them say to use regular white bread for the sandwich. Some say to use something called egg bread. I looked up egg bread because I had never heard of it, and apparently it's a seasonal bread, so regular bread is hard to find right now, so I didn't have high hopes of finding the egg bread. So I gave it a shot trying to make my own, and I'll insert that footage here. So I made the bread and I sliced it, and then I realized it's gonna make pretty small sandwiches. So I decided we were just gonna use this for everyday use since bread is kind of hard to come by. But we did find the potato bread in the store, and I think that'll work out just fine. So also not mentioned in the recipe, you're going to need oil for frying. You're gonna need toothpicks to pin your bread together so your sandwich doesn't fall apart. You're gonna need powdered sugar for sifting on top when it's done. And the recipes I've seen, some say you need blackberry preserves and some say raspberry. I guess it's preference, but we're gonna use blackberry. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mix the dry ingredients together. This is how we're going to make the batter. So it's the 1½ cups flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I'm gonna mix this up. I decided to mix by hand today. So next we're gonna add the wet ingredients. So we're gonna start with the water, 1 1/3 cup. And then we're gonna beat that a little bit in here and then add it in there. We're gonna mix this up. Right now I have my oil heating up to 360 degrees in a fryer. So the first thing we're gonna do is make our sandwich. So it says to start with turkey. It says to use 1 ounce, but I'm just gonna use whatever I feel is enough. And then it says to add Swiss. I'm gonna add 2 pieces. And then ham. I think I'm gonna add 2 pieces of ham. I might trim this because I don't want it to really hang off the edge too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and go trim that. Now what it says to do is to cut it into quarters, but what I've always seen it done and served as is you cut it in half diagonally, then you fry the 2 halves, and then you cut them in half again before you serve. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it that way. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stick in the toothpicks, and you wanna stick them in kind of diagonally. It'll hold them in better. I'm not really sure how many I should put in, but I think 3 will be all right. Okay, So I'm gonna coat the sandwich in the batter. Now this is gonna be messy. I know this already. I'm gonna do 1/2 at a time because I just don't know how this is gonna work out, and I don't want to waste both halves of the sandwich if something goes wrong. It still came apart. So let's put it into the basket. So I tried the 1/2 and I didn't like the way it turned out because the batter was really thick and hard to coat. So I thinned it down a little bit, added another toothpick, and we'll see if this works out any better. And I'm going to use my hand instead of the tongs because the tongs just kind of ripped into it. And yes, I washed my hands very well, and this is for my family, so. So far this one has worked out a lot better. So hopefully thinning out the batter was definitely the way to go. So my footage of the first sandwiches somehow got deleted. So I made another one so I can show you how you remove the toothpicks. You're gonna wanna twist them to pull them out after it's cooled for a few minutes so that you don't pull too much of the batter through. Just like that. And then you can put it on your plate. Cut it again. And sprinkle it with some powdered sugar. So once again, Kevin's gonna be my guinea pig and try them out. I only ever had one bite of one when you got it that one time at the Blue Bayou. So.
They're good.
Yeah, does it taste like Disneyland's?
As much as I can remember, yeah. Yep.
Let me see. Okay, let's have the kids test them now. Okay, Jacob's gonna try them. He's never had them ever. So you could try it just like that, or you could dip it in the boysenberry or blackberry preserves. Got nuts on the mind. Stand over the plate. Oh, look at that cheese pull. How's it? It's different, huh? Try it with the preserves. What do you think?
Good.
Should I make those again?
Yeah.
Okay. The other kids won't try them, or at least not yet. Gwen wants one with regular cheese. She doesn't like Swiss cheese. Kevin talked me into trying to do one on the bread that I made. So I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. So we'll do some turkey, just like the others. Except for not as much because, you know, these are a lot smaller. Some cheese. And I trim the ham. And we'll see how that works out. Okay, I just took the toothpicks out of this one, and I think I'm just gonna cut it in half instead of diagonally. Let's see how it came out. Looks good to me. I'm gonna make a couple more of these, probably with the potato bread, and we're gonna take them over to my in-laws' house and have them try it. Thanks so much for watching. Give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more copycat recipes, other theme park videos, and just other things that we find interesting. Also, if you'd like to try this recipe, I'll leave it down in the description as well as the one for the egg bread. Thanks again. Bye.